Thought we'd talk about cucumbers a little bit today. This is my cucumber trellis. As you can see, I have plants of varying sizes all up and down it, which allows me to show you a little something about the cucumbers. We'll come down here and we see, well, looky there. There is a honeybee doing what we need. This honeybee is giving me an example of something that I really wanted to show you here. These blooms that the honeybee is floating around on right now are the male blooms. So this honeybee is collecting pollen on its feet, its legs, and it's moving that pollen along to our female blooms, which will actually turn into our cucumbers later. So two different types of blooms. How do you recognize them? Well, the male bloom is simply, it's the first blooms that pop out. They just look like a flower. There's not much to them. They outnumber the female 10 to 1, so likely the bloom that you're looking at is a male bloom. But the female bloom is very easily identified. As we walk down the path here a little bit to some bigger ones, I'll take you to a plant here that has a few examples for us. So right here is an example of a female bloom, very, very new. The bloom hasn't even opened up, and you can clearly see the eventual cucumber that is underneath it. Almost looks like a pineapple. This is our female bloom, though. That little honeybee will hopefully come down and pollinate this bloom, and as it does, we'll have a bloom that looks something like this after it slightly opens up. And then, moving on down to a little bit more mature flower, we see this one where the bloom has almost, it's opened up and it's on its last legs. And so eventually, another one here, and another honeybee. So these honeybees are doing our job for us. The pollen on the bloom is actually a little bit sticky. That requires the use of insects, pollinating insects, in order to get the cucumbers pollinated. So interesting little things about the cucumber.